People decide what you deserve before you speak. They decide whether to listen, to respect, to help, or to ignore you based on what you signal in the first seconds of contact. Here is the truth you already feel but never say out loud. You are being judged right now, by strangers, by friends, by gatekeepers who will never explain why they closed the door. And if you look poor, not just financially, but energetically, behaviorally, psychologically, the world turns hostile without announcing it. Not because it is cruel, because it is efficient. The world is not moral, it is efficient. Humans are not fair-minded judges. They are biological scanners. They assess risk. They assess value. They assess dominance. They do this instantly. Life is not a fairness system. It is a hierarchy. And hierarchies do not reward effort. They reward signals. If you misunderstand this, everything works against you and you will call it bad luck. What looking poor really means. Looking poor is not about money. It is about leakage. You leak need, you leak urgency, you leak emotional exposure. You over-explain. You rush to be understood. You try to prove yourself to people who have not earned access to you. That is poverty. And humans are designed to avoid poverty signals the way animals avoid weakness. Not consciously, instinctively. The unspoken ranking system. Every interaction is a silent negotiation. Who speaks first? Who interrupts? Who stays calm? Who fills silence? Who explains? Who reacts? Who stays still? These are not manners. They are rank indicators. Posture, eye contact, pace of speech, tone, silence, emotional containment. Humans do not listen to your values. They read your nervous system. Machiavelli saw this clearly. Niccolò Machiavelli did not describe how the world should be. He described how it actually behaves. In The Prince, he makes this explicit. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand. Appearance comes before essence. Perception opens the door. Substance only matters after. If you are not perceived as powerful, your virtues are irrelevant. Morality follows power. It does not precede it. Why honesty becomes a liability? You were taught that honesty builds trust. Uncontrolled honesty builds exposure. Exposure invites testing. Testing invites dominance plays. When you reveal too much too early, you surrender leverage. Friendliness without boundaries signals hunger. Openness without restraint signals insecurity. Being real without control makes you readable. Readable people are easy to move. The predator and the victim. Watch the contrast. The victim reacts. The predator observes. The victim explains. The predator lets silence do the work. The victim seeks comfort. The predator seeks position. The victim wants fairness. The predator understands access. This is not about cruelty. This is about clarity. Robert Greene explains power as a game of perception. Identity is not who you are. It is what you consistently project. The dominant party defines the frame. Everyone else reacts inside it. If you are constantly responding, clarifying, defending, you do not have a frame. You are living inside someone else's reality. Silence is not absence. It is scarcity. Scarcity creates value. When you do not rush to speak, others assign depth. When you do not over-explain, others assume confidence. When you do not react emotionally, others lose leverage. Restraint forces imagination. Imagination fills the gaps in your favor. Emotional non-engagement is not weakness. It is starvation. When you do not reward provocations with reaction, the attacker loses oxygen. Gray rock is not avoidance. It is discipline. It communicates that their emotional world does not reach you. That is dominance. Fogging without surrender. When attacked, the low-status move is defense. The high-status move is absorption. Strategic agreement without emotional investment. You acknowledge without yielding. You hear without bending. This maintains your frame while exhausting theirs. Amused mastery. True power is relaxed. Calm detachment. Subtle humor. No urgency. No visible effort. Animals recognize this instantly. So do humans. It says you are not fighting for position. You already have it. Where people lose the game, most people understand this intellectually. Then they fail at execution, because execution requires restraint, and restraint feels like loss to the untrained mind. They overpost online. They overshare emotionally. They explain themselves to invisible judges. Digital poverty mirrors physical poverty. Overexposure signals need. Controlled visibility signals abundance. Identity reprogramming. You do not wait to feel confident. Waiting is a low-status behavior. Action precedes belief. Silence rewires your nervous system. Posture rewires your psychology. Controlled response rewires dominance. Behavior shapes identity, not the other way around. Inevitability. Once you see this, you cannot unsee it. The system will not change for you. It never has. You either adapt to the rules, or you remain confused inside them. What you heard today is only the surface layer. Deeper mechanics exist. They are not shared publicly because they are not for the masses. If you stayed until the end, you already separated yourself. Subscribe, and if you want access to the inner level, join quietly. This is not for everyone. Final choice: victim or master, invisible or respected.